What is up, Sooner Nation? It's finally here. Game day. Game time is back. Sooner Surge game time for the first week of the year for Oklahoma. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a part of the channel. If you're not already part of the channel, hit the subscribe button, join up, be a part of what's going on. A lot of things going on here at the Sooner Surge, so join up, be a part of it. First game time of the year, Jackson. I've been waiting a long time to do these videos that release on game days and let's just start out with this. I mean, let's just talk about what you're looking for in week one versus Illinois State. What kind of things are you looking to watch, Jackson?
Yeah, Jay, as you said, it's finally here. It's been a long off season, and I think the first thing is now I don't think we're going to be able to tell how good this defensive line is against Illinois State. But this is a game in which the defensive line just needs to dominate the whole game, whether it's the first string, the second string, or even the third string guys. Guys just need to come in. They need to make plays because you've heard national pundits, whether you've heard it's OU guys that cover the team, us, Jay, me, and you, everyone is super high on this defensive line. So I think it's going to start up front with them. And Illinois State, their QB, he can run. They got solid backs. So now this isn't an opponent you expect to be a challenge at all, but this is a game in which the defensive line, you need to really show that hype that you have as a team and what you are. And the interior guys, I think we want to see David Stone flash. We want to see our Mason Thomas show why he's that projected first-round pick guy, why maybe – Dom Williams, he didn't have the year last year, maybe a lot thought he would. So now what kind of year is he going to have? So there's just a lot of guys on the defensive line, or if that's a Danny Okoye, who we've heard about during the offseason, or a Taylor Wine. There's so many guys, Jay. In this defensive line, you need to absolutely dominate.
Well, for me, I'm looking at two position groups specifically in this first week, and one on each side of the ball. For me, it's offensive line. On the offensive side of the ball, you aren't going to beat many people in the SEC if you can't move people off the ball. If they can't move and look good against Illinois State, that would be concerning. So that's the number one thing I'm looking for. How much have guys developed from last year in the O-line when you talk about guys like Heath Ozida, Logan Howland, Troy Everett, some people that have been in the system for a while. I mean, Fabechi, how good does Fabechi look compared to last year? All that stuff I'm interested to see because – to be quite honest, there's been there was a lot of negative talk towards the O-line last year, and a lot of those same guys are back this year and maybe playing good minutes. So, and then you got Fasusi and Foji, some of the youngsters you're really wanting to see out there, EPL. So very intrigued by the O-line to see how they perform, see kind of the cohesive unit they could be, and just kind of what they do in game one, not against their own selves out there. And then the other one for me is on the defensive side of the ball. It's the defensive backs, and because I think Illinois State's going to try some stuff down the field. I want to see, they got a receiver that's pretty physical. I kind of want to see what Oklahoma does with that guy, one-on-one situations, go up and make plays on the ball. And then if you do get beat, how do you respond to that? Do you can't put your head down and you got to bow up and be that guy that can, hey, you're going to get beat, but the next time you're going to get a pick or you're going to knock the ball away. So those two positions to me is kind of what I'm looking for, one from each side of the ball. So
yeah, and Jay, well, for me, for my other spot, John Mateer. I mean, that's probably the easy answer. I think every Sooner fan is excited to watch John Mateer. It was not fun to watch the QB play as an Oklahoma fan last year. It was not enjoyable. It was not enjoyable to watch the offense at all. There was no explosive plays, no really sense of an identity on offense. So it's going to be really exciting because I think you're going to be able to tell early what the identity of this offense is going to be. And I think you're going to see John Mateer make some plays where you're just like, okay, this is why you went out and got this guy in the portal. This is why you paid the big bucks for him. This is why he has all the national hype he has. And so I think John Mateer chance to really, I don't know how much of making a statement it is because it's Illinois State, but have a good offensive game, show why you were the number one QB in the transfer portal.
Yeah, and let's move on to Sooner standouts for week one. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. For me, I'm going to go with Isaiah Satania. I think Satania gets behind the defense once or twice and has a big day at receiver. So I'm going to go Satania offense. Jackson, who you got offensively?
Offensively, I have – this is probably going to be very, very shocking, but I'm going to go with Torrey Blaylock. I think he's going to get a ton of run. I don't think Jaden Knott, if he even plays, if he's going to play a ton. Javonte Barnes, he doesn't need to play that much, in my opinion. So I think that Torrey Blaylock is going to get a ton of run, and I would not be shocked if he goes for over 100 yards in his first game.
Defensively, who you got, Jackson?
Defensively, another true freshman, Cortland Guillory. I'm going to go with the freshman, the young pups. I think it's going to be a good game for a lot of these guys that haven't played a ton to get a ton of run, and I think he is going to be the starter opposite Gentry Williams when it comes to taking the first snaps, and I think that Cortland – I don't know. I think he's going to have a phenomenal day, and I think you're going to see him flash. I'm not going to go as much to say he's going to have a pick, but I think he's going to have a great day, and you're going to be like, okay, this is a kid that has a bright, bright future at Oklahoma, and the offseason hype was worth it.
For me, I was leaning Peyton Bowen, but I changed it literally before we got on this video to Kendall Daniels. I think Kendall Daniels has an outstanding game in this defense that Brent Venables is leading and calling. I think Kendall Daniels, with his athletic ability, what he can do in the passing game with his length, also what he can do getting to the quarterback, blitzing, stopping the run, all of it. I think he's going to shine tonight. So let's move on to the national games, Jackson, because there's some good ones, and we're going to do our pick'ems here. Great first week of college football. I mean, you look at it, and it's not just Saturday games. There's, you got Notre Dame, Miami Sunday night. And let's start there. Let's start with Notre Dame, Miami. Game one, Notre Dame, Miami. Who do you got?
I have Notre Dame. I'm not a believer in Mario Cristobal. I'm not that high on Carson Beck. I don't really think that Miami is a contender, in my opinion, for a national championship. So I think that Notre Dame is going to be the more physical team, and they're just going to be able to control the clock and win that game.
I have to do this in honor of Lee Corso's last – not so fast, my friend, because I'm going Miami on this one. Wow. I think – and here's why. I'm going purely based on quarterback because Carson Beck has played the position in big-time games, and Notre Dame's has not. And that's what I'm basing the pick off. I think it's going to be a close game. It could go either way, but I'm going to go with just Beck and Miami there because of that. Let's move on to the next game. LSU Clemson. I'll go first, Jackson, on this one. I got Clemson in this game. I got Clemson. I got them going a long way this year. I think they're a really good team. Bring a lot back. You got quarterback probably, I think, going to be in the Heisman contention. Just really like what Clemson's doing, and I think they get this first win.
Yeah, Jay, if you've heard me on the lives, I'm super high on Cade Klubnik. I have Clemson as well. I have Cade Klubnik winning the Heisman as well as Clemson winning the national championship this year. Wow. So and LSU,
get your shirt on, man. Jeez.
They've struggled in openers. LSU has, and I think it's going to continue in this game.
And the last game before we get to OU is the obvious one that everybody's going to be tuning into, Texas, Ohio State. Who do you got, Jackson?
In my opinion, this has been the hardest game I can remember in a long time having to pick. I think two QBs, but I'm going to go with Ohio State due to the home field advantage. It's Arch's first career start on the road, Julian Sayan's first career start, but he's at home, so I'm going to give the advantage to Ohio State.
I'm going to go Texas on this game. I think this is going to be a very close game. I think it's not going to be as high scoring. I think there's going to be quarterbacks that make mistakes on both sides, Ohio State and Texas. I think Arch will throw a pick or two. I think, it's a big game. But I think Texas defensively, I think with Arch, I think I like Arch better than Sayan. I think he's better. But I think they both struggle a little bit at times, but I think Texas gets a victory, maybe like 3 field goal or something. So moving on to the final game, OU, Illinois State. Jackson, you go first, and I'll tell you my pick.
Well, I think OU is the obvious pick, Jay.
Well, I mean, we're not, yeah,
Yes,
obviously.
yes. And then, I have OU. I haven't really thought about score much. I'll go. A score is going to be 52-0. I don't think Illinois State is even going to score. I think OU's too good defensively. They have too much talent, and I think they're just going to start off the game with some fireworks, whether it's a deep pass or something. But I think Oklahoma. This is a game they are going to dominate, and they should. And Oklahoma is winning by a score 52-0.
And I got a similar score to that. I got 55-10. I think, they get 3 points, kind of maybe half or third quarter. But then I think fourth quarter, OU's up. I think they bust something and they'll get a touchdown on them. And I'll say 10. But I think defense plays really well for Oklahoma, first and second team out there. I think they look good. I think they look good offensively. They get material out after halftime. Hawkins comes in. So 55-10 for me. And hey, everybody watching, who do you got? What's your score prediction? Who's your Sooner standout? All of it. Put it in the chat. Drop your comments. Finally, OU football is back, baby, and can't wait to discuss it. Remember, a lot of stuff coming up today with pregame live before the game, post-game live after the game, instant reaction video. I mean, there's a lot coming up. So tune in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Be a part of it. Sooner Surge. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.